everyone, welcome back to Northbound Magic. I'm Allison.
I'm Jarvis.
And we are a Canadian family of 7 who love Disney parks, cruises, and family adventures.
If your family dreaming of a Disney cruise, we're sharing our top 10 tips to save you stress, time, and money.
And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos.
Tip number 1, fly in early. And never fly on the same day as your cruise. Delays and cancellations happen.
We always fly in at least 2 days early, especially coming from Canada. That way we can enjoy Florida, we can look around, sightsee, and this avoids a lot of stress. For our first Disney cruise, we actually flew down to Fort Lauderdale 2 days early on July 22nd. We set sail on the Disney Dream on July 24th until the 28th, 2025.
And honestly, that's one of the biggest decisions we've made. Flights get delayed, bags go missing, cancellations happen, and last thing we need is to miss your cruise just from something like that.
When we landed in Fort Lauderdale, we grabbed Uber straight to our hotel, the Hilton Embassy Suites. This worked out perfectly for a big family like ours because not only were we traveling with our kids, we also had my parents and my sister. The rooms were very spacious, there was free breakfast, and we were close enough to a lot of the shops in case we needed to grab any last-minute cruise essentials.
After checking in, we decided to go check out the area. We found a place called Quarter Deck for dinner, which our daughter found, and ended up being a great place, great options for the kids, and the iced tea is actually unsweetened. So for anybody that's gonna have iced tea, it's unsweetened.
Yes, FYI Canadians, because we have sweetened iced tea here, so it was a bit of a shock for the kids. We did prepare them ahead of time because when we were in Disney World 2 years ago, we found that out. The kids especially loved that after dinner they could burn off some energy in the pool at the hotel. So for the next 2 days, they were basically fish in the water.
And for us parents that want to de-stress, just want to relax by the poolside, was a great thing to do just before a cruise.
Those 2 days before the cruise really set the tone for our vacation. We didn't rush, we got to relax, and if you by any chance are able to swing it, we highly recommend it.
Exactly, it's a peace of mind and it turns travel days into part of the vacation instead of the journey.
Our tip number 2 is to compare airports. 2 of the main airports that Canadians typically will use when they go on Disney cruises are the Orlando Airport and the Fort Lauderdale Airport in Florida.
Well, let's start with Fort Lauderdale since that's where we flew in for our cruise. So Fort Lauderdale Airport is much easier to navigate than Orlando. So you're usually off the plane through customs or at the port or your hotel in 30 to 40 minutes. That's amazing because if you got kids who are tired from a flight from Toronto.
Exactly, and you're only about 15 minutes to the cruise terminal. We took the shuttle from the Hilton Embassy to the Fort Lauderdale port.
On the other hand, if you're looking to combine your cruise with the Walt Disney World vacation, then Orlando is the better choice. The Orlando airport is massive, way busier with more flight options. But it's also about an hour from Port Canaveral, which is where most Disney cruises sail from.
And let's be real, Orlando Airport can be overwhelming with kids. It's crowded, security can take longer, and just getting from your gate to baggage claim is a bit of a trek. But it has its perks too. There's lots of food options, Disney and Universal shops right in the terminal, and plenty of family-friendly amenities. And no matter which airport you choose, explore it a little bit. You want to stretch your legs, get some food, and find a quiet place for the kids to do their activities and relax.
Lauderdale equals convenience, Orlando equals options. Both can work for Canadians, depends on the trip you're planning.
And whichever you pick, remember the airport is the first step to the magic, so take advantage of it.
Tip 3, passports and documents. And tip number 3 is something that can make or break your Disney cruise. And with passports and documents, we as Canadians cannot leave something like that for a last minute.
Here's the bottom line. Every Canadian citizen needs a valid passport to travel on a Disney cruise sailing out of the US. If you're cruising internationally, your passport is your golden ticket.
And here's a key detail. Your passport needs to be valid for the whole duration of your trip. And some countries require 6 months of validity beyond your travel dates. So check your expiry date carefully. And we've heard horror stories of families showing up to the ports, almost getting turned away for an almost expired passport.
Now, if you're traveling with kids, remember that in Canada, children's passports expire every 5 years, not 10 years like adult ones. A lot of parents forget about this and suddenly realize 2 weeks before their trip that their kid's passport expired.
And what about documents for kids? If you're traveling without the other parent, and say one parent takes the kids on a cruise, you'll need a letter of consent from the other parent. Cruise lines and border officials sometimes ask for this, and having it ready can save you a huge headache.
Another important piece of the puzzle is your port arrival forms and Disney Cruise Line check-in documents. About 30 days prior to your cruise, you'll complete your online check-in on the Disney Cruise Line website. This gives you your port arrival time and generates your port arrival form. So you want to print those documents and keep them with your passports. You'll need them when you check in at the cruise terminal.
And we actually keep all our travel documents in one folder, such as our passports, our boarding passes, our check-in forms, our travel insurance, our hotel reservations, and our luggage tags. And that way nothing gets lost in the shuffle of traveling with 5 kids.
Speaking of travel insurance, it's not technically a document you need to show when you board, but it's a document that you absolutely want to have with you. Medical coverage in the US is expensive, and if anything happens on the cruise, you want that safety net. So make sure you print your travel insurance policy information and carry it with you.
And one last tip, make copies of your passport and important documents. We always bring a printed copy and keep digital copies on your phone. That way, if a passport ever goes missing, you got backup proof of identity, which makes replacement so much easier.
So here's a quick checklist for Canadians cruising Disney.
Valid Canadian passports for everyone. Check expiry dates.
Letter of consent for travel if one parent is traveling solo.
Disney Cruise Line check-in forms and port arrival times.
Travel insurance paperwork.
Backup copies of everything, printed and digital. It sounds like a lot, but having this all organized before you leave makes boarding day smooth and stress-free. You can focus on the excitement of getting on a Disney dream instead of stressing about paperwork.
And trust me, nothing feels better than handing over those documents, getting your key to the world card, and officially starting your Disney cruise adventure.
Tip number 4, currency exchange. And this is super important for Canadian families. Disney Cruise Line charges everything in US dollars, including your cruise fares, your onboard spending, and your gratuities.
If you just plan to use your credit card, just be mindful that bank conversion fees are between 2 and 3%, and that can really add up fast, especially for a big family like ours.
That's why we recommend exchanging Canadian dollars to US dollars before you fly. Even just 100 to 200 per adult is helpful for things like tips for baggage handlers at the port, room service deliveries, or quick snacks on board.
For example, when you arrive at the port, the porters who handle your luggage appreciate a small tip. Usually $1 to $2 a bag is standard. It's easy to do with US bills you brought with you.
And on board, if you order room service, it's politely $1 per item. And having small bills means you don't have to go scrambling looking to break a big bill.
We also like to split our cash into envelopes, one for tips, one for excursions, and one for miscellaneous. That way we know exactly how much we have and we're never caught without small bills when we need them.
So even though most purchases can be put on your room account and paid by a credit card, cash or Disney gift card at the end, and having some cash ready in US dollars makes life so much easier.
It's a small step, but it makes the whole cruise experience less stressful and more magical, especially for first-time cruisers. Tip number 5, travel insurance. Okay, let's talk about something that's not fun or magical, travel insurance. It is absolutely imperative that all Canadians traveling to the US and going on a Disney cruise get travel insurance for yourself and everybody else in your family.
Here's why. If you or your kids need medical care in the US, it is not cheap. It can cost thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And the ship itself has medical staff, but onboard care isn't free either. That bill comes straight to you unless you're covered.
So here are a few types of insurance you'll want to think about. Emergency medical insurance. This is the most important. It covers hospital visits, doctor care, prescriptions, and even ambulance rides. Make sure your policy works though in the US and while you're at sea.
Trip cancellations and interruptions. Flights get delayed, cruises get canceled, and sometimes life just happens. This helps you get your money back if something unexpected happens, stops you from going.
Baggage insurance. If your bags are delayed or lost, this helps cover your essentials. Obviously, it's not as critical as medical, but it's super helpful when you're traveling with kids.
And one tip for Canadians, don't assume your work benefits or your credit card insurance automatically covers cruises. Many have exclusions for the travel longer than a certain number of days, or they don't include kids. But always call and confirm before relying on this.
Exactly. For a family of 7, we went with a comprehensive family medical plan. It was surprisingly affordable compared to what care would have cost if anything went wrong. For example, in Florida, trip to the emergency room could cost $3,000, and that's even before treatment.
And when packing your travel documents, print a copy of your policy. We also keep our emergency number in our phones and in our travel folder. And that way, if we ever needed help, we won't waste time digging for it.
So bottom line, Disney Cruise is a big investment. Protect it and your family with travel insurance. It's one of those things you hope you'll never need, but if you do, you'll be so thankful that you had it.
And the peace of mind is priceless when you're about to set sail on your magical vacation. Tip 6, packing for the weather. So when you're leaving Canada in the winter or summer, the weather where you live is completely different than the Caribbean. So packing smart for your cruise can make things much more comfortable.
Let's start with the basics. Disney cruises out of Florida usually go to the Bahamas or Caribbean. That means hot, humid, and sunny weather pretty much all year round. So swimsuits, flip-flops, lightweight clothing, and breathable fabrics are a must.
And don't forget the sun protection. So we pack sunscreens, hats, sunglasses, and even rash guards for the kids. So the sun in the Caribbean feels a lot stronger than at home in Ontario. So layering protection is key.
But here's the part a lot of Canadians don't think about, the rain. Florida and the Caribbean are known for their sudden downpours, especially in the summer. They don't usually last long, but you don't want to be stuck without a plan. So pack ponchos or light rain jackets. We like to grab the cheap ponchos from the dollar store. That way you're not paying expensive Disney prices on board.
Another thing to pack for is the temperature swings. Outside is hot, but inside the air conditioning is sometimes cold, especially in restaurants and theaters. The wife always brings sweaters and hoodies for the kids. That way we're not freezing during dinner or watching a show in the Walt Disney Theater.
And if you're cruising in the winter months, don't forget the departure weather and the arrival weather. You might leave Toronto in snow boots and arrive in Fort Lauderdale in flip-flops. We usually wear layers, a light jacket or a hoodie that we can put in our travel bag as soon as we land.
For evenings on board, Disney has theme nights like Pirate Night, so we always pack pirate gear, bandanas, glow sticks, and even full costumes for the kids. It adds to the fun when we're out on deck watching fireworks at night.
And let's talk about excursions. If you're doing beach days, pack water shoes for the kids. It protects their feet from hot sand and sharp shells. If you're doing city tours, then walking shoes are a must. You don't want to be stuck in flip-flops around Nassau.
We also bring backpacks for the port days. That way we can pack sunscreens, ponchos, water bottles, or even snacks for the kids, and even a change of clothing for when someone gets wet. It's a lifesaver.
So here's our quick Canadian weather packing checklist. Swimsuits and rash guards.
Sunscreen, hats, and sunglasses.
Lightweight clothes and sandals.
Ponchos or rain jackets.
Hoodies or sweaters for AC areas.
Pirate night outfits and theme gear.
Walking shoes and water shoes.
A backpack for excursions.
Layered clothes for travel days.
Packing for both climates, Canada and the Caribbean, takes a little planning but makes the trip a lot smoother. And honestly, being prepared means less stress and more magic.
Exactly. The less time you have to worry about weather surprises, the more time you can spend enjoying the ship and making memories with your family. Tip 7, carry-on bag. Okay, let's talk about the carry-on bag. This is one of the biggest tips we can share because it will make your embarkation day so much easier. When you board a Disney cruise, you hand off your luggage to the porters outside the terminal. You won't see those bags until later on in the day, sometimes after dinner.
That's where your carry-on bag saves the day. Basically, it's your survival kit until your baggage or luggage arrives. And for families, especially with kids, having the right thing at the right time is essential.
So here's what we recommend packing in your carry-on.
Travel documents, passports, cruise documents, cruise information, and boarding passes. Keep these organized and easy to grab. We use a family travel folder.
Medications. Always keep prescription medication, motion sickness patches or bands, and kids' medications with you. Never put them in checked luggage.
Swimwear and flip-flops. The pools and aqueduct open as soon as you board, but your luggage won't be there. So having swimsuits in your carry-on means your kids can hit the pool right away.
Change of clothes, a light outfit or pajamas, just in case your luggage doesn't arrive till late.
Electronics and chargers, phones, tablets, and cameras. And don't forget charging ports.
Snacks and water bottles. Even though food is everywhere on board, it's nice to have familiar snacks for the kids, and you can refill your water bottles on board.
Valuables, jewelry, money, or anything expensive. Checked bags are safe, but better to keep valuables with you.
Sunscreen and hats. The Florida and the Caribbean sun don't wait for your luggage, so if you're heading up to the deck right away, it's best to have some sun protection.
And here's a Canadian specific tip. Since we're flying in, our cruise carry-on starts as our airline carry-on. That means we also keep things like a life jacket for the airport, kids' activities for the plane, and all those just-in-case items.
Another little hack, we pack our carry-on with a foldable tote bag inside. That way, if we buy souvenirs on the ship or at one of the islands, we've got an extra bag for souvenirs.
And parents, trust me on this one. Pack swimsuits and goggles in wet, dry bags. The kids will be begging to jump into the pool as soon as you board. You'll thank yourself when they're splashing happily and when you go grab your first coffee or cocktail.
So in short, think of your carry-on as your day one lifeline. Pack it with everything you'll need to get through until dinner, and you'll start your Disney cruise relaxed instead of scrambling.
Tip 8, gratuities. Disney Cruise Line automatically adds gratuities to your account. And as for Canadians, it's important to plan for this because it's in US dollars.
Their current rate is about 14 to 15 US dollars per person per day. So for a family of 4 on a 4-night cruise, that's around $240 in gratuities. For our family of 7, that's even more. So that's definitely something that we have to budget for in advance.
These gratuities are split between your stateroom host and your dining team. So on Disney, you usually have the same server and an assistant server follow you to your next dining room. So by the end of the cruise, they feel like part of the family.
We'd like to say a special shout out to our amazing stateroom attendant, John, and
our server, main server, Ariel, and our assistant server, Ronan. The tips go directly to them. And trust me, they totally earned it. They remember your drink orders, they cut food for your kids, bring special requests, and go above and beyond for our whole family.
You can choose to prepay your gratuities or you can settle them at the end. We actually prefer to prepay our gratuities, although at the end we still left extra tips for them because goodness knows they deserved it.
It's really nice to hand them extra cash in an envelope at the end of the cruise. That's when having those smaller bills comes in handy. And don't forget about other moments like tipping your porter at the port or giving a little something for room service deliveries. Those aren't included in your automatic gratuities.
So our advice, budget for gratuities up front and bring extra US cash so you can show your appreciation to crew members who make your trip magical.
It's one of those details that makes you a prepared cruiser. And it really does make the whole experience a lot smoother.
Tip 9, kids clubs. Tip number 9 is one that our kids absolutely love. And honestly, it's one of the reasons why we chose Disney Cruise Line is the kids clubs. Disney really does this better than any other cruise.
Here's the breakdown. Disney Cruise Lines has different age-appropriate clubs, and they're included in your cruise price. That means your kids can have fun, make friends, and do activities while the parents get a little time to themselves. Win-win.
The Oceaneers Club is designed for kids ages 3 to 10. There's so much for them to do. We're talking majorly themed spaces like Star Wars, Toy Story, Frozen. Of course, it all depends on the ship.
They've got everything from arts and crafts, science experiments, cooking activities, video games, and even surprise character visits. Our daughter came back buzzing with excitement every time.
And for parents worried about safety, our daughter got a magic band that was tied to our account. You check them in and out, and the staff are amazing with kids. We even had a password that we had to use to get her out. Disney has some of the best childcare trained cast members at sea.
Then there's Edge. This is for the tweens ages 11 to 14. It's like a cool hangout zone with video games, karaoke, dance parties, and even scavenger hunts around the ship. For kids this age, it's independence without totally being on their own.
Our youngest son just turned 11 prior to our cruise, so unfortunately was too old for the Oceaneers Club, which I think he would have preferred. As a parent, I was a little apprehensive that he was able to register himself and also check himself in and out of the club.
Next up is Vibe for the teens. Our teens love this space. It felt more like a lounge than a club. They've got games, movies, and music, and lots of teen-only events.
And the staff there are great at making teens feel included. Plus, parents get peace of mind knowing that their kids are supervised.
Disney even has the It's a Small World nursery. It's the only part that has an extra fee, but it's worth it if you want a date night and just a quiet time together. The nursery is run by trained childcare staff and is fully themed with Disney magic.
Now, here's the best part for parents. You get time to yourselves. Whether it's relaxing in the adult-only areas, going to Palo or Remy for date night, or just enjoying a coffee in peace. The kids clubs give you that balance of family time and adult time.
As soon as you board the ship, head to the kids clubs during their open house. Parents can tour with their kids, meet staff, and see everything before check-in. It really helps everyone feel at ease.
So don't skip the kids clubs. They're included in your cruise price. They're amazing, and they give adults and kids time to enjoy the cruise in their own way.
Disney Cruise Line is all about family, but they also know the value of giving kids the independence and giving the parents a break. For us, that balance makes the whole experience magical. Tip 10, Canadian discounts. Our final tip is the one that can save you some serious money, specifically for us Canadians. The Canadian resident discount.
Disney often runs specials just for Canadians, but it's usually on select sailings. And the savings can be pretty significant. Sometimes saving 20%, 25%, and even more on regular cruise fares.
So how does it work? When Disney offers a Canadian discount, it's usually listed under the special offers section of the Disney Cruise Line's website. So this discount is only available to people who can prove Canadian residency.
And proving residency is simple. You just need a Canadian passport, a driver's license, or government-issued ID. When you check in at the port, Disney will verify that you actually live in Canada before applying the discount.
Not every cruise will have a Canadian discount. They pop up more on sailings that Disney wants to fill. So maybe off-peak dates, repositioning cruises, or last-minute sailings.
For example, you might see discounts on fall Caribbean cruises or even on select Alaskan itineraries, since those are closer to Canada. The key is to check the Disney Cruise Line website often. The discounts can change month to month.
Here's the thing though, the Canadian discount usually can't be combined with other discounts. So you want to compare and see which deal is better.
And a little booking tip, if you've already booked your cruise and then you notice a Canadian deal's popped up, you can usually call your travel agent or the Disney Cruise Line and they will apply that discount for you.
Another bonus for Canadians is watching the exchange rate. Disney charges in US dollars, so the Canadian dollar strength can make a difference. If the loonie goes up, you get more value for your cruise.
We like to use Disney gift cards or a no foreign exchange fee credit card when booking. That way, we're not paying extra fees on top of the exchange. It adds up, especially for a big purchase like a cruise.
With a family of 5, 6, or 7 like ours, these Canadian resident discounts can mean the difference between affording an inside stateroom or upgrading to a balcony cabin. It's a huge deal for Canadian families looking to make Disney cruising more affordable.
So, before you book your next Disney cruise, always check the special offers page for Canadian discounts. Even if this savings seems small at first, it can cover your gratuities, your flights, or even a night in a pre-cruise hotel.
Disney cruises are magical, but they're also an investment. Every little bit of saving counts, and these Canadian only deals are a perk we definitely don't want to miss.
Exactly. So keep an eye out, and who knows, that extra money might go toward a fancy dinner at Palo, a spa day, or maybe even your next cruise.
So those are our top 10 tips for traveling on a Disney cruise.
Which tip did you find most helpful? Let us know in the comments below if you are planning your next Disney cruise. We'd love to know when and where you're traveling.
And don't forget to subscribe for more Canadian family travel tips
Disney park adventures.
and our upcoming cruise videos.